Coming to you live from somewhere in Yuma.
Hey sightseers, it's Sightseeing Sally and Marty, and we are in Yuma. Is it 3:10 yet? We're here checking out some old relics in this desert town.
Old buildings, that is.
Old buildings, old men.
Creepy old man.
Yeah, I think we've seen plenty of them today, although we won't be showing you those here on film. Anyways, why don't you come with us and we'll go scope out the underbelly of Yuma.
Let's do it.
Well, the Post Park Motel is no longer open for business.
Refrigerated.
Apparently they had rooms that were refrigerated, because I don't know that...
That's the old word for air conditioning.
Is it really?
That's what I believe it is.
Interesting. I would have thought that it meant that there was a refrigerator in the room, but apparently it meant that there was air conditioning. That makes sense though, doesn't it?
Yep.
Now...
It's only got one resident. Living behind a tarp.
Yeah. Here's a better look at it. According to the numbers on the doors, there were 13 rooms in this little motel. I just love that sign. That is just a really cool old sign. Here's something you don't see every day. A travel agency. When was the last time you actually saw one of these open and in business? Across the street from the travel agency is this building here that used to house JCPenney, which is also quickly becoming a relic of the past. And next to the building that used to house JCPenney is a building that used to house the United States Postal Service. Built in 1933, it is now listed on the National Register of Historic Places and is owned by a company called Gowen, which I guess has something to do with growing stuff down here in southern Arizona. The Gowen company also owns the Lee Hotel, which is also on the National Register of Historic Places. And then over here, this building too, which I believe used to be their First National Bank. Yeah, if you look back there, you can see the canopy for the old drive-through. And if you look up above, you can see some pigeons hanging out, roosting, resting their weary bones. Who's that scary looking dude over there? Did you ever notice he's always walking around with his hands in his pockets? I wonder what he's doing. If you look beyond the glitz and the glitter of all the buildings that have been refurbed, you can see things like this. Advertising murals faded in the brickwork. Marty says if we back up, we can see that it says overalls. So what does that say, Marty?
I don't know. It was something at one time, but I can kind of read it. I think it says Kresge's company, and then it's the 5 and dime and 25-cent store. You can see your store real in the bottom over there. It was a few things they painted over the years, but I believe the first letter, not the SH, but it said Kresge's. It looks like a K-R-E-S, and then you can see like a K behind it. The S, you have to really look, but I think it says Kresge's Company originally, and it was the 5 and Dime store. Golden Wedding Bell Marriage Chapel. Come something service. And then you can see day or night. The night is spelled N-I-T-E. I don't know what that is on the bottom, but that's old. Golden Wedding Bell Marriage Chapel. Oh, complete services, or complete service, day or night.
So it's like the Vegas version of the wedding chapel.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Speaking of faded advertising murals, check this one out on the side of this old historic hotel. It says, "See America by Greyhound." When was the last time you traveled by Greyhound to see America? Let me know in the comments section below. Just taking a closer look at this sign for this hotel. It says Hotel del Sol. And just as luck would have it, the sun is actually shining right behind it. Isn't that totally cool? The Hotel del Sol isn't the only old hotel. We've got the Hotel San Carlos here. And what's cool about this building is the old neon, the neon flagpoles that you see up above. One thing we've noticed walking around here in this part of town, even though there's been a lot of what you want to call gentrification, where they've come and done a lot of revitalization to the older buildings here, added in places to eat and drink, there seems to be a lot of unsavory characters, if you will, roaming the streets in this area, and so we've had to kind of keep an eye out for that as we film this. Anyways, we spotted this. It used to be the Copper Miner's Kitchen, which was open 7 days a week. And what I thought was really unusual about this diner or kitchen place to eat is that it had this old car. I don't know if that's from a train or trolley or what.
I don't know if it was actually a dining car or just a passenger car, but it's an old train car.
Yeah, and it was used as the dining area in this kitchen, but you can't see that from here.
You can see through the side.
Yeah, as Marty was saying, you can see the booths here. Hopefully there you go. You can see where you could go in there and eat inside the old car, the old train car. Speaking of hotels, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to show you this sign. The old Econo Lodge Motel sign. Isn't that just the coolest? And next door to that is the Tropicana Motel. So we've been doing a lot of neat old signs here, and here's one I have to show you. And it's for a dry cleaner of all things. For the Melody Cleaners. And then you can see up there the old neon where it says Shirt Laundry. Oh, it actually says phone out of order.
Phone out of order.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if you can hear it.
Still saying it?
Yep.
Phone out
Wow.
of order.
Still hooked up.
So in other words, if I stick my quarter in there, I'm going to lose it. Just saying.
Quarter saved is a quarter earned.
That's right.
You got an awful level head with a big body.
Check this out. This old machine. Marty's gonna do the strongman. What'd you get?
Past world champion.
No way. Oh, look at that.
Be careful, you'll poop your pants.
Let's try it again. As we're walking around here, we notice there's a lot of artwork here related to the railroad. For example, and this here looks like it's made out of old railroad spikes. Not sure what it's supposed to be, but I think it looks like an old dust devil. Speaking of railroads, Southern Pacific Railroad donated this locomotive to the city of Yuma back in like the 50s. It sits next to the Hilton Garden Inn, but apparently there used to be a Southern Pacific Hotel over here, but it was abandoned and demolished, like so many things. That Southern Pacific Hotel that I was talking about, that's what's left of it. It's actually a few bricks, the foundation of it, underneath the parking lot. I wonder how many people walk by this and know what that really is. To be honest, I wouldn't have, except all of a sudden it clicked in my head. I was reading in the placard up above about how if you looked, you could see the remains of the hotel. And then it was like, as we were driving by, I'm like, wait a minute, I think that's the hotel. So this was something that caught Marty's eye from a distance, and to be honest, we had no idea what it was. Marty thought it was maybe a time machine.
It is a time machine. Sometime I'll figure out what it is.
Good one. But we found a placard back there that tells us that this used to be a water filtration system that was invented by some guy by the last name of Blaisdell, I believe. Hey, isn't that the magic booth from The Wizard of Oz?
Right down there is the lever that makes the thunder. The buttons for the lightning.
All joking aside, that's obviously the control center of this water filtration getup, but yeah, it's pretty amazing to see it up close. I would never have guessed that that's what this was. Would you have, Marty?
No.
There's a blast from the past. There's the old Yuma prison sitting alongside the overpass for the interstate. So we've actually left Yuma and we've crossed over into California, but I wanted to show you this mission. It's one of the oldest churches up here. It's just amazing. According to the placard, because this place is on the National Register of Historic Places, the original mission was built in 1780 and then later destroyed in 1781. It's a pretty spectacular place to have a church, and they're even still holding services here today. It's just with the whole COVID thing, they're not holding services indoors. To me, it just looks like something you would see in an old Clint Eastwood movie. Imagine some homeless person was feeding their cat down here. So as you can see, just down below from the mission is this old abandoned train station, and it's in really rough shape, but of course we had to stop and check it out. And there's a lot of bird doo-doo here I don't want to be walking on. But we'll just take a quick peek through the window and doorway here. So you can just see. It's This is somebody's dumping ground, and it stinks really bad. Yeah, I don't want to walk in there, not with my good shoes on. I suspect the homeless were using this as a bathroom because it's just, like I said, really nasty in there. Not to mention all the other animals. It's a shame that this isn't such a wreck. And this is how you end the day from going through the underbelly of Yuma. You add to your own underbelly with hot dogs.
Add to my heart disease with hot dogs.
Special thanks goes out to all our fellow sightseers here on Patreon and PayPal. Without you, these videos wouldn't be possible.
You want to get in the shopping cart and I'll push you down the hill? Here, let's make sure we take out a life insurance policy on you first.